Good afternoon, teacher.
Have you ever been reading and read a paragraph that you thought, I just have to read that again and again? You just had to go back through it once or twice?
Last night.
Last night? I'm there with you.
We're in college. We have to do that all the time.
Well, today we are going to go over some tools, some visual ways of organizing and understanding the organization of paragraphs. Some people call them graphical organizers. I just call them charts or pictures to help you understand how the thought process is moving and the purpose for the thought process. I want to start by showing you this example. Can anyone tell me what this is? What this might be?
Timeline?
That's right. This is a timeline. So what do we use a timeline for?
History.
History? Good. What about history?
Events.
Events. So an order of events, correct? So, for example, hello? Can anyone guess what this is a timeline for?
A phone. Cell phones.
Cell phones. All cell phones?
Apple.
Apple.
Oh,
This
yes.
is a timeline of the iPhone. From 1999 until 2008. Now, is this useful in any way? Why is this useful? What does it help us do? What does it help us understand?
Keep track of things that happened in history.
In order.
In order.
That's right. That's the biggest thing. To keep track of the order of things happening.
It's visual.
It's visual. And today's lesson, for those of you who are visual learners, you're going to love today's lesson. For those of you who aren't visual learners, you won't hate it. These will still be some helpful tools. You may just have to work a little bit harder on.
See, teacher, I look at this and it's like, I'm lost. Please give me a paragraph.
You have a mini paragraph for each one, though.
And if I stood all the way.
I understand. And different tools are for different people in different situations. So this may not be as useful for you. But many people do find graphical organizers useful on occasion. And today we are actually going to practice using 5 of them.
Wow.
First, I'd like to put you in groups. And there will be groups. 2 groups of 2 and 1 group of 3. And I will number you to go into those groups. So, Kelly?
1,
2,
3.
1,
2, 3, 1.
If you could please get into the groups with your fellow numbers.
and 1.
Where the two's at?
We'll come to you.
Any twos?
Where the two's at? Does that start happening?
I like your watch. Thanks.
This shoes are 1.
I used to work at a department store, and they were doing a sale like 2 for 1. Nice. So I got my sunglasses. I got 2 for $12. Because my big sunglasses. Oh. Yeah. So I was like, I'm getting cheap ones this time.
For the group of 3, you get 2 of them.
Yay. Woo. You're holding I don't know what am I supposed to
look at
pause
the
this?
description
There we go.
for each of these charts. You should recognize the names in bold. The compare and contrast Has anyone here ever written a compare and contrast paragraph?
Yes.
You wrote one with me last session in writing 3. Has anyone here ever written a sequence paragraph or a description of something in sequence?
No.
No?
Creative, right?
Well, we'll cover that in a few moments. You'll get to see an example. Cause and effect. Does that seem to be familiar to anyone?
Yes.
And of course, we've got problem and solution. So for all of these, we've got a way to use a picture or a chart to describe or to define a progression or an idea.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I thought about it and
Okay? And what I'm going to let you do is, understanding these, since you've written paragraphs and knowing the terminology, I'm going to let you and your group try to figure out which one of each of these 6 paragraphs goes with each chart. Now I'd like you to be I will warn you to be, let me see. Oh, that's why I chose these. These should not be too difficult. So look through them together. And what I would like you to do, read a paragraph and then decide which interface, which chart do you think it will go with. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And just so you know, there are 6 paragraphs. So one of those charts might get used more than once. So what are you doing with the paragraphs?
We're going to read them and see which paragraph goes with which chart.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right. Age of the dinosaurs. I guess you could, yeah, you can pause it.
Right now, it seems that everyone's just about done. So, who can tell me which chart paragraph 1 fit into? Kelly.
Chronological.
Chronological. Why do you say chronological?
Because it's talking about 3 different time periods, and it talks about them in order and describes them.
Very good, very good. So it's talking about 3 different time periods. 3 different time periods during which dinosaurs lived. Perfect. Okay, Kelly, can you choose who's going to tell me about paragraph 2?
Paula.
Yes. We said paragraph 2 is compare and contrast.
Okay.
Because it's looking at the different characteristics of the raptors and the
Velociraptors.
Velociraptor.
Between the
That's how I say it.
the Velociraptor and the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Very good, very good. Paula, who should go next for paragraph 3?
BK should go.
let's see. For paragraph 3, we thought it was a sequence. And it's giving you instructions to make a form of dinosaur process. Go step by step by step.
Very good. So, now, correct, it is a sequence. Why did you choose sequence instead of chronological?
Because it's not talking about time specifically. It's not.
Okay.
It's just listing in order.
That's right, listing in order. So a sequence is usually more of, we can say, an order of events or instructions. Whereas chronological, it's still giving an order of events, but they're not instructions, it's more observation. As many of you said, more like history or something of that sort. Although some people might disagree with that, so if someone says list in chronological order, you may end up going more like a sequence. It depends on the situation. Okay, let's go with number 4. Okay, BK, who should tell us number 4?
Pat.
I knew she was.
Okay, number 4 is cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Very good. And just for the sake of time, let's jump. Well, did everyone agree cause and effect? Good. Who should go next?
Lauren.
Uh-oh, Lauren.
This one was a hard one for us.
This one was a little bit difficult.
Process of elimination, we thought that was problem and solution. And it kind of is, because the problem is stuff can be misleading, and the solution is you have to be careful and think critically.
Correct.
They say you. Correct.
Yay.
So did everyone else come up with problem and solution for that one?
Yeah.
For 5? Very good. Good job, Lauren. And
Thank you.
who should do number 6 for us?
Colleen. That's what you,
Yeah,
2 facts.
we chose cause and effect.
Cause and effect
For
for
6?
6?
Yeah.
Does everyone agree with Carlene on number 6?
No.
Dino thinking of his girlfriend.
It's all right, Carlene. It's an easy mistake to make. It's an easy
But
mistake
that would
to
have to be
make.
at like the first
So
sentence.
what did everyone else choose?
Sequence.
A sequence. Okay. What did this group over here choose?
Well, we took chronological, but now that I hear Carlene say it's cause and effect, I think it could also be cause and effect, teacher.
Okay, what?
Because Timmy got eaten, Timmy got eaten is the effect, and the cause is all these other things that he did. So I agree with you, Carlene.
Thank you.
Partners.
So, in this case, is there one root cause, or is there a series of root causes all pushing to one effect, or is it more of a sequence of causes going to that end event?
Oh, I think it's all 3. I'll take the last one.
Okay. Is Dino getting eaten by the Tyrannosaurus? I think that's what happens, right? Is Dino getting eaten a necessary consequence of what preceded?
All of what preceded.
Yes, because he didn't run away from the thumping dinosaur. Just kidding.
I understand your viewpoint, but I would argue that this is probably going to be either, I personally would say it's chronological, for the same reason I say number 1 is chronological, because it's sort of telling a story, it's not giving instructions.
I was doing devil's advocate. I've been trained.
And I understand the point of the thumping feet.
No.
But
Well, we think it's sequence because it's like telling a story, and it's one step and then the next step.
It's a
and then
sequence
the
of
next
events.
Step.
And that brings up something that's very good to recognize. Because although for me, I would put this over here, sometimes, especially when you're working with literature, when you're working with structures and writing, there can be some crossover. So sometimes, for example, there may not be much difference between something chronological and something sequence-oriented. Nor sometimes may there be much difference between something that's cause and effect, or if there were 2 problems that have to be solved. Let me see. Sometimes you'll have a cause and effect. Sometimes you'll have where was I going? Your teacher got lost. Sometimes a problem will cause something, so it would be a cause and effect, but it would also be a cause-effect solution. These things can blend together sometimes. If you have a problem that then causes something that happens that you have to fix. So these can go together sometimes, but we're going to talk about that in level 5, not in level 4. Right now we're working on these core structures. Okay, does that help?
Yes.
Thank you very much. What time is it, teacher?
18:30.
Well, what I'd like you to do for homework is I would like you to take your paragraphs and your charts, and I would actually like you to draw out each paragraph following the format of the chart. And when we come back we will work with those tomorrow.